Alright, so I'm about to launch phase 4 of my style library, and there's just way too much to list, but I wanted to give a couple demos of some of the new stuff. So phase 4 is going to add totally new levels of customization and a bunch of new capabilities. I'm going to do a live demo tomorrow. I'm going to have it scheduled. It'll be at 9 o'clock Eastern Tuesday on my live channel to kind of run through some of it, but there's literally so much potential now. It's really going to be users going and playing and mixing and matching. But so the idea for phase 4 is to be able to let users really customize. So there's so many unlimited possibilities of what we can do with styles that it's too much for. I can't possibly build every combination. So the idea now is I'm leveraging more of the building capabilities in the library, particularly what used to be the dual phase split blade builder. Now it's kind of just a blade builder. You're going to be able to do so much with it. You're gonna be able to do your dual phase, your color shifting, your split blades, vortex, mirror, and now I'm also adding a bunch of interactive capabilities. So I have a lot of ideas for interactive styles, and I've built a bunch of them already. But while I'm building them, I'm realizing that there's so many ways we can do things that just building a off-the-shelf single style with all the interactive capabilities, it really doesn't showcase what's possible. What's really possible is really up to everybody's imagination. So what I'm doing in what's now going to just be called the Blade Builder is I'm adding interactive capabilities there where you can actually build interactive styles and tweak them out to how you want them to look, how you want them to react, what you want to have them be. Um, and that list is going to grow. So for Phase 4's launch, there's going to be a bunch of interactive capabilities. There's 3 big new ones, but there's a bunch that have been available. The 3 big new ones I'm going to demo here, as well as a ton of new customization in terms of colors, how those colors react, gradients, everything possible, as well as custom colors. So that's the other piece. Is used to be you had the list of colors that you could pick, and it was a long list. But now I've actually made it so that all your styles, all your effects, you can actually use custom colors where you just input RGB values. So you can get all default custom colors you want. You can mix and match them. You can do gradients on them. You can do color shifting. You can do rainbow blends. You can do all the style modifiers. So that there's literally like now exponential amount of possibilities. The first 3 new interactive styles that are going to come to the Blade Builder, they let you build these interactive effects. And the idea behind interactive styles is to take what would just be a normal animation on the blade that kind of just repeats itself and really immerse yourself, almost like a video game type thing where you can tell a story through the blade. So these first 3 are kind of really nice because they're going to build upon some of the previous capabilities, but expand on it. So we have the clash build-up, we have swing build-up and all that already. But the idea with those is you reset them either by turning the blade on or off, or by using a force or using something different. These are full-time running, fully interactive capabilities. So this first one, this is going to be a interactive clash instability. And the instability is really up to you. But this one is starting as a red area flicker. The second style is an unstable red effect. I think it's unstable pulse. Every time I clash, it's going to build up that instability. This reads not only the clash, but how hard you're hitting. So the harder you hit, the faster you get to unstable. But unlike the previous build-up versions, this one, all you have to do to get your blade to settle itself back in is to just stop clashing. So like if you're in a battle, you're doing a bunch of clashes and lockups, the blade's going to become unstable, it's going to be that way. You have to give it time to kind of reset itself, or time for it to re-establish its normal operation. So I did simple styles, but you can mix and match, and you can change your colors and everything. So on this one, every clash is going to build up that instability, and then if I stop clashing for a period of time, it'll allow the blade to restore itself. So we'll get some hits, and now it's an unstable effect. And what's going to happen now if I stop clashing, you'll see it's going to slowly start to reestablish itself and return to that just basic audio flicker. And again, all of this is customizable. The color, the bass effect, the unstable color, as well as how the colors are blended. So this is just meant to be simple to give you kind of a starting point. And again, it's not only looking at the clash happening, it's looking at when the clash isn't happening. It's looking at how hard the clashes were, how much you built up in terms of instability. So it's going to be different every time you use it, which is the whole point of these interactive things, is that it's how the blade's being used, what you're doing to it, when you're doing it. So that's the first one, is this new clash instability. And you're going to build these styles completely custom how you want. Let's do the second one. So now this is similar, but I've actually added a little bit more to this one to make it a little more fun. So this one I'm calling the Path to the Dark Side. So the idea is those clashes, the lockups, swinging, anything aggressive is going to take your normal blade, which this is a blue audio flicker, and it's going to turn it into an unstable red, as if you're moving towards the dark side. And then with this one, instead of just stopping your clashes, this one you also have to settle and almost meditate. So what's going to happen is if I keep clashing, it's going to build up the red unstable. But if I'm still swinging hard and using this blade aggressively, it's going to stay in that unstable red until I slow myself down, slow my blade down, and almost meditate for a period of time. And this one has a longer duration on purpose to be almost like a meditation. And only then will I return to the light. So we'll build up. So I'm going, I got my unstable red. Now, if I stay aggressively swinging, it's going to stay that way. And then to slow it down, I have to steady my blade, I have to reset myself, and now it will restore itself to its blue. So this is the temptation to the dark side, or I'm calling it the path to the dark side. And again, it's based on how hard you're hitting for clashes and lockups, but it also keeps in track of you actually aggressively swinging. So if you're just doing subtle movements, it doesn't consider that aggressive. But if you're doing big, large swings or fast movements, it's going to stay in that unstable state you've built up until you slow down and meditate and move. You're sending yourself back to the light side. So it's just kind of a fun kind of variation on the clash and stability. And then this one is this is a kinetic swing. So we have a bunch of swing capabilities. We've always had responsive swings. This one allows you to take two styles, put them together, but build up kinetic energy on how they're applied. So this one collects the swings, but if you stop swinging for a period of time, it's actually going to release that energy. So all of the other ones, they'll build up, but they release on like clashes or lockups or ignition or retraction, or a force effect. This one being fully responsive, if you stop your swings and calm down, the energy that gets built up actually will dissipate over time. Or if you clash, it actually immediately dissipates. So it's kind of a combo of a bunch of different interactive capabilities. But so again, it's kind of a simple audio flicker, but with each swing, I'm going to pick up some movement until I get to the full value. Now this one actually switches colors a little bit, so it goes into more of an aquamarine. But now if I slow it, it's going to settle itself down. And how long it takes to settle back down is based on how much energy you built up with the swings. So a little bit will not last quite as long. So this is kind of allowing you to do kind of like the shimmer blade and the hyper responsive audio flicker, but build your own variations on those styles. So we have a bunch of interactive interactive styles that I've already built. This now lets you be kind of in control of what they do, how they do it. And again, the colors, the styles themselves, everything that's happening, you're going to pick and choose and customize. So you can really, just use your imagination, come up with a bunch of crazy stuff. So those three are coming with Phase 4's launch. I have a bunch more that I'm working on that'll just be added in batches over time. And then I've got two more. So now this is another new feature coming to the library in Phase 4 is the ability for you to set the base color of any style to custom colors, meaning the RGB, but also you can apply color modifiers and style modifiers. So this has a color modifier of a gradient. You can actually pick how much of the gradient occurs. So this is a custom blue that I've just made out of RGB, and then I apply a gradient. This is a gradient up, that I've applied to a certain amount so that it goes almost to a subtle green. So you create this gradient blade, and now you also are going to have a bunch of options. You don't have to have it be a static gradient. You can have moving gradient, you have gradient wave, you can have rainbow effects, a bunch of different things that you're going to build in, and it's any style you want. You're going to pick your colors, you're going to pick how you want to do the modifiers for color, how you want to do the modifiers for style, but you're going to have all of these options to come up with really unique blades. And then lastly, and again, there's so many, I can't do videos on all of them. This is a rainbow shift, and this also has a style modifier of inverse. So this is the same style from the previous blade, but this one has a custom RGB blue that I've changed the rainbow shift to be into an almost purple. Now, color shift lets you go between two colors. So it'll be one color and then it'll move to the other color and back to the original color. Rainbow shift takes one color and shifts through the entire spectrum to the second color. So rainbow shift and color shift are actually different. This one's moving from that blue through all colors between it to the purple, and it's going to continuously do it. And again, you're going to be able to customize. This one has a pretty quick change in rainbow shift. You're going to be able to set it up so you can set the time, so how long it takes to rotate through, and you can speed it up, slow it down. And then this one also, it's the same style, but the previous one moved up the blade. I applied a style modifier to invert it, so now it moves down the blade. But you're going to take all, mix and match all these capabilities of color modifiers, custom colors, style modifiers, your blade builder and everything, and just build whatever you want to be able to. And again, it's exponential, the amount of style possibilities that are going to be in Phase 4. And I'm never going to be able to actually document every single one, so it's going to be whatever you decide to play around with. That's where the previewer comes in, that's where the library comes in. But I'm going to do a demo tomorrow, kind of show the basics, and then I'm going to let everybody go off and running with it. Phase 4 should be launching tomorrow or Wednesday, but the live video will be tomorrow. But there's a ton of stuff coming, and there's even more that'll be added over time. But Phase 4 is going to take your customization, your imagination for styles to, the nth level. So I'm super excited, and join me tomorrow so you can kind of get a sneak peek, find out when it's coming, and then go and start playing and coming up with whatever you can imagine. So hope you enjoy.